documentation series. Today we are going to show a very useful tool called Byteman. So let's get into the presentation right away. So the agenda for today will be what is actually Byteman, how we can use it. We are going to run some examples and finally some Q and maybe some So first up is what is Byteman? Well, Byteman is a tool that is ideal to trace, monitor, and test the behavior of a Java application and also JDK runtime code, right? So if you have a Java application and you want to trace or monitor something, or also to see something from a behavior from the JDK code, then you can use this tool. How it works? It works in a way that it just injects Java code directly into your application or the Java runtime code method. And the great thing is that you don't need to recompile, repackage, or even redeploy your application. So you can just attach Byteman and modify the code right away from there. So how we can use it? The simplest way to use Byteman is to just inject bring statements in the code. So if you have a method and you want to get inside there and to see what is the output, what is the value of the arguments of that method, then you can inject code there to bring some statements. And the way you do this is through rules. Byteman rules actually is like a script, a specification, in which you tell Byteman which method you want to take part into, right? So when the Java code is going to execute that method, then you ask Byteman to also execute that code for you. And you have several controls to do that, so you can specify if you want to get injected when the method is just start to being executed or after it was executed, and then you can inject pretty much Java code into there.
Yes, I was going to say that. It's pretty much like AOP, but on the bytecode level.
Exactly, yeah. So you don't need to be part of the application. You can do it on a side and attach to the Java runtime. Okay, so let's get straight into the workshop. So first, this is just a recipe. I have in order to what you have to do in order to run Byteman. So you need to set the Byteman home and the Java home properties, right? Environment properties to the accordingly, right, to those directories. And then you attach to the Java process by giving you the name of the class that is running that process. In this case, I was using Studio, so the Mule container bootstrap. If you're running the standalone, then it's deployer as the other class, right? But you just execute a PS and you can realize which is the class you're looking for. And then of course, you will need to have a rule defined, and you just load that rule with that command with the -L option. And if you want to unload that rule, then you execute the same but with the U option, so you can upload. And at the bottom of this slide, you have actually it's what the VM install script is executing. We were going to see it right now, and the reason why I did that is because in my environment, for some reason, that script doesn't work properly. But if it is failing for you, then my suggestion would be to execute that script, which is actually the same, but running the Java right from the pad and giving it all the parameters right away, right? Okay, so let me show you a sample application I prepared for this presentation. It's quite simple. It's just an HTTP listener and a set payload. Nothing strange here. I'm going to run this application. Let me close this and open the console. And it's ready. Yeah, it's ready. So basically, just return OK, and it doesn't bring anything. So let's take a look at the first rule that we are going to attach. So basically, the first line is just the name of the rule. Then it's actually the class in which you want to inject the code. Then the method. In this case, it's the set payload message processor class. So we are going to, we have a set payload component there. So we are going to attach there. And more specifically on the process method, at the exit. So when the process method is exiting, we are going to run this code, which is actually printing the message. As you can see, the $1 is actually the argument. Yeah, the argument of this method, which is the Mule event. And then we are, through the event, we are getting the message and then the payload, right? So let's go ahead and attach Byteman. This, and so yeah.
Let me go. I don't wanna be your hero.
So that's line here, and I have file on here, and let's set first the environment variables for the Byteman home. Just a zip file that I just download and uncompress. That's all. Setting the Java home, and then I am in the directory. And from there, what I'm doing right now is just run the Byteman to attach to the process. This is the special command that I put together in order to make it work in my machine. You probably would be fine by just running the script that came with the Byteman. Okay, so it returns right away, and we can see in the console that there is a message here. So you know that something is attached. So now let's go ahead and just attach this rule that we just saw. In order to do that, we use this script that this actually works in my PC, and we give the port, which is the same port that we use it during the, when we run the attach. I will give some. Yeah.
That port is fixed, or
it's fixed, so you, but you can specify with the fix. If you just run the commands, you don't need to specify the.
okay, using that command, I could just by example.
Another port, yeah. So here is the example one rule. So let's load the rule, and you can see that message that the rule has been installed. So now let's hit the endpoint one more time. And here in the console, you can see that it's executing the rule, which, if you remember, let me show you the rule. It was executing get message, and then get message, get payload, right? With a few line separators in between. So that's basically what we're seeing here. This is the Mule, the print of the Mule message. and this is actually the payload. Okay. So let's go ahead and just unload this rule. So instead of L or load, you just use U, and you see the message that the rule is uninstalled, and then if you call it again, well, actually, I will do this. The rule is no longer being executed. So now let's take a look at the other example. For this, yeah, this is the example that we just saw, and the other example I have for you. This is actually getting injected in Java code, I mean the JDK code. And the reason, as I saw that error happening in this class, I came with this rule that actually logs everything that is being, loading by the class loader and opening all these jar files. So let's go ahead and modify this application a little bit so it can actually trigger that process. So I'm just adding another expression here. I don't know, I will say flow bar, my flow bar, which in this case will be null, but I don't care. You should redeploy the application. Okay, here we go. And now let's try to attach the other rule. Which is log, sorry, we want to log the example2. And as you can see here, is this method getEntry, and it will just log the name and the name of the entry. Let's try to log this rule. So I have attached the rule now. What I'm going to do is just make a modification here so I can trigger the redeploy process. And now, because of the rule is load, it will execute this method, right? Well, actually, this as you can see, this is running, logging all the class. And then when we call this endpoint, once again, you will see that it's execute again. And here, what we can do is just take a look at this output, which is, let me clean this and call it again. Oh, actually, that's the first time. So what I'm going to do is just first unload the rule. Okay. So now I'm going to redeploy the application without the rule. There you go. So now I will try to load the rule again. And now I will hit the endpoint. And now that we have this, yeah, just because I wanted to have a clean output, because every time it redeploy the application, the rule is taking place, and it will absolutely log everything that it's doing. But I was just interested in log when the flow bar is actually, when this mail is actually being evaluated, right? And that is happening on the first request that this listener is receiving. So as you can see here, this is the name of the entry, the flow bar class, and this is all the jar files that has been going through in order to see if that was a class that was needed to be loaded, right? So so now we can go for that question.
Yes, the $0 means this.
This, the class.
The object,
yeah.
The instance to which you have, or in this case, would be
a zip file.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that one is the first argument.
The first argument. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for clarifying that. Okay. So let me see if I have something else for you here. No, actually no. So I think we have time space for Q&A. I will leave you some reference here, some resource to continue to try to start playing a little bit with this tool. So, do you have any questions?
I think that more than a question is a comment.
Yeah.
Another good thing about Byteman is you don't actually need the source code of the application. You just only need the Java doc to know class name, method name, and argument, but you don't very much need the source code.
Have you had samples of cases where you suggested something else other than statements?
No, I haven't. But I know that you can. It says that it has the ability to change completely the behavior. You can check whatever you want there, and also change the behavior of a method completely. Like, for example, returning something different.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. You can do that. So it's a pretty neat tool. It's really handy. The thing is that there is some documentation, but it's not that easy to read, and you need to learn as you go because the information is there, but you probably need to take a look at the Byteman source code in order to understand what how Byteman works and how to do whatever you try to do.
Another verification is that even though it's similar to AOP, it's different because this modifies the full bytecode. Whereas in AOP, mostly what you're doing is you have a proxy, a target object where you put the proxy and just run the code to that. But in this case, we can actually, that's why we may modify the signature because they modify it. Of course, it has to be used carefully because you don't have the compilation warnings and it might be easily breaking the application.
Exactly.
When you are just not logging or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So on the one hand, it's good to use it. I mean, I can use it production environment, but on the other hand,
Yeah. Exactly. You can, if you make an exception there, then you can halt the whole Java virtual machine right away. Then you have two problems.
Yeah. At least you know the solution to one.
Yeah, exactly. We start. So yeah, it's it's quite good. I think we should take advantage of this. And there are some cases in which I don't see this, to use this as a tool on daily basis, because you need to, have some specific write a rule and everything